Hi there, it's Deirdre here from Starwise Clairvoyant Astrology. Just popping in today, the 3rd of July, to let you know that today another major retrograde is taking place where the planet Neptune is moving into retrograde motion for approximately 5 months. So Neptune is the planet of illusion, imagination, deception, and betrayal. And he's been transiting through the sign of Pisces, where he's very much at home, for the last 15 years. So this is a major, major transit. This is the last time in our lifetimes that we will have a Neptune retrograding in Pisces. It's the last, and Neptune takes at least 15 years to move through a sign of the zodiac. So it's a very, very long time before he can go through all those 12 signs of the zodiac and come back to this place again. So I think it was the late 1800s, 1867 or something like that, when Neptune was last in Pisces. So it's another couple of hundred years before that's going to happen again. So what's really important here is that while Neptune has been in Pisces, we've been very, very much stuck in an illusion, because Neptune's all about illusion. So Neptune takes a while to move through each sign of the zodiac. So as he moves through each sign of the zodiac, there's different stages of his progress. So the beginning of the transit is when we completely buy into the illusion. It's all we can see. We don't see anything different than what's been presented to us, and we see it as the truth. We don't see the illusion. And then when we get to the middle stage of this, it's when we start to break through that illusion. We start to see it through a few chinks in the armor, a few breaks and things that make this illusion, start to kind of fall apart or not be as strong or as true as we thought it was. And then when we come to the end of the transit of Neptune and any sign of the zodiac, or Neptune and Pisces in this case, we start to completely see through that illusion and change everything and get rid of the illusion, or just throw it to one side because it's not real and it's not what we need. Now, as we know, we've been in the age of illusion for quite some time, and there's many illusions being presented to us on a daily basis. So when Neptune goes retrograde, it's very much about the illusions that you choose to live under. Where in your life are you pretending to be something you're not, or not stepping into something you can be, or telling yourself lies, basically, and to make the situation feel better, or the world around you to look better to you. When Neptune goes into retrograde, it's a time to look at everything from a much higher perspective. And when we look at things from a higher perspective, we see the reality and we see the truth of any matter. So this retrograde period is going to be very, very powerful one to really look into you and where you are holding yourself up. Where you're telling yourself stories, where you're pretending to be what you're not, or pretending your life is something that it's not. You've got to get real. When next year Neptune moves into Aries, and that's when all the clarity is going to come. But, we're building up to that now. So, forewarned is forearmed. So the more you can see through the illusions now, the better prepared you're going to be for when Neptune moves into Aries and we get to take action on changing those illusions, or getting rid of those illusions, or, yeah, absolutely getting rid of those illusions. So, it's a very, very powerful time. So it's a good time to check in with yourself and make sure that when you look at any situation that you're involved in, are you looking at it from the highest perspective? Or are you stuck down in that lower perspective and that poor me, it wasn't my fault, they made me do it, whatever it might be. If you're stuck in that energy, you're not looking at your life or anything from a higher perspective. So it's time to step into that higher energy, to look at things in a way that means that you're not going to be drawn into somebody else's illusion. You're not going to allow yourself to be betrayed. You're not going to allow yourself to be disillusioned with life, because you're seeing through the cracks, the chinks in the armor, seeing through all of that to what the actual truth of the matter is. And we've got to see ourselves truly for who we are. And so that, for some people, they find it very difficult to see through an illusion they've created for themselves, where they don't believe they're good at anything, or people who think they're better at something than they actually are. All those things are all illusions, and usually they're all created by our own imagination and our own minds. So while Neptune is in retrograde, I would really encourage you all to practice as much mindfulness as possible. Now, mindfulness, from my perspective, is when you actually become aware of every single thought that's entering your mind, and being very discerning on what you allow to stay there and take up residence there. Because if you allow a negative thought to take up residence in your mind, and then you keep adding to that and regurgitating it and going over and over and over it, before long you will make yourself sick. It will start to have a physical effect on you. So I think we should all find during this retrograde is that awareness of what we're doing to ourselves. Because when your body starts physically reacting to something that you're thinking or feeling, that is, very much spirit, the universe, yourself telling you this needs to change. This feeling of stress, this sick feeling in your stomach, the lump in your throat, the hurt in your heart, it's all been created by the way that you think. and you have complete control over that, complete control. But we forget that we can control our thoughts. So I would really encourage all of you during this Neptune retrograde is to be aware of what you think and be aware of those negative thoughts when they do come in, what they do to you, how they make you feel mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And if all of those feelings that they're making you feel aren't good or positive ones, then don't do it. Get rid of that thought. You don't need to hold on to it. It's only you that's making you hold on to it. So enjoy this retrograde period, and I hope you find a whole lot of realizations about yourself and are able to kick them all to the curb and start a whole new process once Neptune moves into direct motion later this year, around November. Okay, I'll see you all later. Bye.